Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Glenn King takeover of the Rev Mel Show. No, my name is Glenn King. No, I got rid of Rev Mel. She is somebody that you will not be hearing from today. It's a complete format change. I'm going to be bringing in naked girls. We're going to be having sex. We're going to be doing things way differently right here. My name's Glenn King. You know me from meanworld.com. Forget about what you've seen in the past on this show. It's going down tonight here.
Untie me!
Oh, see, now here's the problem. So people think of me, they go, "You're really a fake bondage person, aren't you?" Because the knots that I tie are so easy to escape out of. This is ridiculous. Would it take you like 8 seconds to get out of there?
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Welcome to the Rev Mel Show on TSRnetwork.com, where real people talk about real sex with real kinky people. Thank you all for watching the show. I'm really excited about it. Next week, I have Whippler. You know, the new app is coming on. I'm kind of like, I mean, there's those bondage things, the rope. I mean, oh my God. But I'm having Whippler come on to the show. So if you're using Whippler and you're wondering questions about it, next week is a good place to come in and come into the chat room. I hope you guys brought popcorn, because I want some popcorn. But you know what? My guest, I'm excited. Okay. Art Miller's in the chat room. Decat is in the chat room. Welcome. I can't tell you guys how many people are watching the show because I'm not up there. So please, put this out to all your friends and everything else. But my guest, I was scanning through FetLife, and I went to something, I forgot what it was, and he said something, or something was there, and I clicked on his profile, and I noticed he didn't have a lot of friends.
That's true.
Which is kind of good. He did not have a lot of friends, and I thought, wow, who is this person? And then I went to his websites, and I says, man-eater. What is a man-eater? And we're going to find out. And he's got quite a few different shows that he does. He has his own network called the TheKingNetwork.com, which is awesome. They said, hi, Rev Mel, question, Whippler. No, it's WHIPLRA, Whippler. And Whippler is a new app about BDSM. It's the only app that Apple has said yes to. So they're going to be on my show next week all the way from Israel, which is I'm really, really... they're scanning through, trolling. Who's scanning through? Someone's scanning through and trolling. So I think I made us too bright. Don't we look like we're ooh, but over there it doesn't look bright. Here it looks bright. So you have a lot of young ladies on your show.
Yes, I do. I do. I like the young ladies.
A lot. I mean, they are gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Who are these women?
They are porn stars mostly, and they are dominatrixes as well.
Pro-doms?
But yeah, some are pro-doms. Mostly they're porn stars. I have been directing adult films for the last 14 years, and as part of my relationship with Evil Angel over the last few years, I've been able to sell my DVDs all over the world, and have been on cable channels all over the world. So at this point, and it's funny because I had lunch the other day with a guy in the industry, the radio industry, and he said, well, how's the show going? And I said, well, great, except for the problems have changed. I now end up on a lot of days with 5 or 6 girls on a show, and it's difficult to figure out. That's really too much. You know, the sound is really difficult to keep in line when you've got a bunch of girls all yelling at the same time.
Single tail works, a paddle works.
Yes, Aiden Starr is my co-host, and she is what I like to call an alpha dom. She's a dom that can dom other doms, and has run some of the houses of domination. And I was like, Aiden, crack the whip on these girls. Like, we tell them to be quiet, so keep it quiet. But anyway, I think what's happened is a lot of girls want to be in my videos, so they come on the show. They know that if you want to get in one of Glenn King's videos, you got to come on the show and impress me and show me that you're better than all the other choices that I have.
So they come on your talk show, on your show, and then if they pass it, the grade, then you do videos with them. Is that what you do? Is that and you produce the videos, correct?
Yeah, and it's not totally accurate to say if they pass a certain test. It's like, there's 800 girls in the industry, and I shoot 52 scenes a year. And of those scenes, some of them are going to be repeat girls that I've already seen, and some of them have a special need. So let's say that I really need 25 new girls per year. I need to choose the best 25 girls.
So what about granny porn?
Yes. It's funny because I don't think there's that huge of a market for granny femdom, but at the same time, the couple of times...
That's cool.
Yeah, the couple of times that we have shot scenes that were older women, they actually did pretty well on the site. So I think there is probably a niche for it. It's just that I have to stay within a certain range to fit the bigger audience. If I make something too specific, then I kill, while I'm grabbing some audience, I kill another part of my audience.
Yeah, I did a photo shoot with Venus DeMila, and I was like, Venus, why do you want to do a photo shoot with me? She goes, 'cause you're hot. I go, I'm hot. I says, I'm older than most of the people that, all my friends are really young. All of them are hot, beautiful, young women, handsome young men. I am this granny in front of all of them. So, but I can understand why, and I've seen some granny porn, and some of them isn't very good. It's like, oh my God.
I kind of like it though, actually.
Oh, so do I pass?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We'd have to see you naked, but
Oh no.
There have been, I can't remember the name. Sally D'Angelo was sort of hitting me up. She must be about 60 or so, and saying, you should put me in your videos. You should do this, and it's like, as I tell every girl, come on down to LA, let's see what you got, be in one of my shows as a guest, and let's take a look at you. And she said, well, how about flying me out? And I said, how about not?
Well, let me have a
But maybe you don't understand the budget on this. You obviously have never seen my show, because we don't have the budget for microphones most of the time. Forget flying girls out.
But that's what's wonderful about your show and about about TSR Network is that, one of the things that really impressed me, and I told him earlier when we were sitting there before the show, was he does a femdom award show. And he said it was his way of giving back to the community. To me, that's when I knew that I wanted to have you on the show.
Right. Well, let me explain about that then, because, all right, so I think 14 years in the industry, every single year I go to the AVN Awards, or I watch the AVN Awards and the XBiz Awards, and I usually have 4 or 5 nominations, and they are all in the categories like Best Specialty - Other. So I'm sitting there going, ooh, what'll it be? Will I beat clown porn this year? Or I have actually lost to a title named Chunky Backyard Nurses. And it's like, no disrespect to Chunky Backyard Nurses, because ironically I went and watched it. And it's like, well, this isn't bad, actually. But the point is, femdom is a huge community. And people like yourself, like Matresse Madeline over there up at Kink, like Aiden Starr, who is a professional dominatrix, are literally silenced every year when the award shows come around. And I finally said to myself, as this happened in January of this year, as I was watching the AVN Awards, I said, one of these days I'm just going to start my own damn award show, and then we will recognize these great people that are in the femdom industry. And then I said, well, wait a minute. What do you need for that? You need a studio. You need a broadcast network. I got all those things. I'll just do it. I'll start my own award show. So the next day I said to Aiden Starr, Aiden, great news. We're going to do our own award show. She said, I'm with you. And I go, okay, is February 28th good on your calendar? And she said...
This is from January?
This was mid-January, yeah.
Oh, my God.
She goes, February 28th is open on my calendar, but would you rather... Because Aiden doesn't tell me what to do most of the time, so just question. Would you rather do it on, say, July 20th? Do you think that would be a better day? And I said, Aiden, what does it take to do one of these things? We got a studio, we got you and me, we've been doing shows together for 5 years. We can walk up on stage, improvise the whole thing, there'll be no problem. And boy, was I wrong.
Yeah.
Boy, was I wrong. It was a miserable month and a half where I gave up every single inch of free time that I possibly had.
And you were with...
And it was worth it.
You had pro doms.
We did, yeah.
Did you have lifestyle doms? See, that's why that's why he's here.
Mm-hmm.
He's here because of the BDSM community. So you have to have two divisions next time you do. I'm not telling you what to do, but next time you do it, you have the awards to the pro doms, and then an awards to the lifestyle doms, and have people vote and put in their votes of who they would want.
That's a tough one, and this is the
Yes.
thing. As you know, because you said you've done award shows, you start to realize how complicated things are. As an example, so I had a category for Pro Dom of the Year. How do you vote? How does first off, when you have fan voting, you're leaving it up to whoever's got the best technology behind them, because fan voting is people cheat.
Yep.
No matter what you do, no matter what you put in place, people cheat.
And it's really amazing when you get to look at who has sent things in, who has clicked the thing.
Yeah.
One year, a very well-known dom, male dom, cheated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I could tell it went up from 100 votes to like 500 votes within hours. And I went, how did he do that? How did he figure out to do that? How did he do this?
Because when you set up a voting system, if somebody sets up anything automated on the other end, then they can defeat your security on your voting system. I have this contest I do on my show called Twass of the Week. It's my favorite part of every week. So women tweet me pictures of their asses from all over the world, and then what we were doing was letting people vote on which girl had the best ass picture, and then giving prizes out. And we discovered not only were fans cheating, but they were bragging about it. They were on Twitter saying, hey, Mistress whatever, or hey, Callie Carter, porn star, I voted 20 times for you today. And it's like, oh, man, dude, I tried to make it clear here. One vote per person. There's a big thing up saying, I'm going to disqualify your girl if we discover you're cheating. Every single week when I went in and manually looked at the IP addresses, I would realize there's cheating.
But what I had was I had a company that you could only vote once.
And
they still cheated.
That's right. There's no such thing.
Okay. Art Miller's in there talking.
Art, how are you?
Art Miller. Art Miller's a sweetheart. Here we go. He says scanning. I was scanning the internet. Means I was trolling. So yeah, I was trolling for him. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you didn't think I did that? I troll a lot.
By the way, if people want to see my stuff, go to meanworld.com. I just redid my website, I call it my portal site over the weekend.
Easter show.
Ah, thank you very much. Yeah. So if you go to TheKingNetwork.com, you can see every week I do Glenn King's Maneater show. There's a different background every week, and last week it being Easter, we had a giant bunny rabbit behind us.
He does it with the green screen. You do a great job with green screen.
Thank you.
Whoever lit that does a great job.
That I will tell my guys.
Yeah, they've done it. Because I don't do. I just do everything black because I don't want to deal with it. But he does a great. I mean, I've seen. The only reason I knew that he did a green screen was because I saw photographs of them standing in front of things.
Oh yeah.
The girls it was a green screen, so I knew that they were doing that. But it looks good. It looks awesome. But Maneater. Okay, before we go to Maneater, I gotta ask you some questions.
Sure.
Ready?
Ready.
All right. Glenn.
Yes.
How big is your cock?
It is roughly, when it's hard, okay, now when it's soft, it's minuscule. But and it's grower. When it's hard, I'm going to say 7 inches.
See, he answered the question, are you a grower or a shower?
Right. Is that the next question?
No,
Definitely a grower.
a grower.
Right.
Okay. Big balls or little balls?
I would say medium-sized balls, maybe. Not big balls, for sure. I don't know. It's hard because I really don't have a lot of balls to compare myself to on that.
Well, there was a guy from Australia that we were having dinner with, a friend of ours, and she was a dominant, and it was her submissive. And he says, Rev Mel, I got to ask you a question. He says, every time I go on the toilet, he says, my balls hit the water. He goes, is that common in the United States?
Wow.
I went, oh
Maybe the water level's
God.
too high.
Ooh. Ever take it in the ass?
No, absolutely not.
No, but you're an ass guy.
Not my thing. Having stuff in my ass, not my thing.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, fucking a girl in the ass, not my thing.
Really?
Absolutely, that's right. And in fact, that was part of the reason I departed from Evil Angel at the end of last year. They are an anal company. That's what they specialize in. And when I started doing sex videos, I just didn't want to make them with anal sex in them. I'm not that into that. Now, licking an ass is a beautiful thing, I think. It's taboo. It's just sort of shocking, and it's wonderful, I think. But actually, sticking my cock in an ass, I'm just not. I like sticking cock in vagina. My cock wants to be in vagina.
But when you go to a porn shoot, I mean, you go into the bathroom in the porn shoot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you see enema stuff, you see douching stuff. I mean, I was shocked at how much, because I used to do cater. I worked for a catering company for a short period of time on porn sets, and going into the bathroom, seeing all this stuff, I was like, oh my god. So that's how they have to prepare for like their ass fucking and all those sort of things. See, you learn so much.
Definitely. And I don't know. Sometimes girls probably enema themselves for ass licking as well.
Yeah. And Art Miller wants to know what your thing is.
My thing.
Yeah.
What do I specialize in?
You said it's not your thing.
Oh, my thing is aggressive sex. So, and that's where the man-eater's word comes in.
I was wondering that. I thought man-eater was licking ass.
No.
See?
What I like most of all, above all else, is when a hot girl throws a guy down on the ground and uses him as a sex slave. So that ranges from just throwing herself on top of him and making him lick her pussy, or shoving her ass in his face, making him lick her ass. And also, I've made a lot of videos where the girl takes the guy's cock out and then bounces up and down on the cock as well, in terms, cowgirl style. In fact, then we've added in doggy style as well, and
do you consider yourself a submissive, or what do you consider yourself?
No, I'm a switch, for sure. I'm a switch. But I would, as I've been on FetLife and conversing with some of the people, I would say that I'm like maybe 55 to 60% sub, 40 to 45% dom. Because some days I feel like a dom, and it's great. There's so many girls out there that they love to explore and play with that. So girls will say to me, like I went on Twitter one time and I said, I feel like being a master today. Who wants to be my bitch? And girls started responding, and I started texting with these girls. I'm like, hey, you little fucking whore, now get on the ground, and I want you to put on a little dog collar for me. I'll wait. Just go get your belt and put it around your neck. And I was kind of enjoying that. But there's less days that I feel like that than I'm happier with a girl sending me ass pictures and saying, Dad, you want to lick this? You want to lick this bitch? I'm like, oh, yeah, I do, sure.
Art Miller says, I'm learning something new every day. I can certainly appreciate your thing. Role model indeed.
Thank you, Art. Appreciate that. Yeah.
You know what? I think switches have more fun.
Well, isn't everyone really a switch, in that you got to go with the moment? And no, not everyone's a switch. And not even a tiny bit of switch, huh? So you're dominant or sub?
I'm dominant.
Dominant. Okay, and you're 100% dominant, and under no circumstance would you enjoy being spanked by the right person.
Well, Art knows this, and a few other people that are watching the show, they know that I did let my submissive top me one night from 6 o'clock in the evening till 4 o'clock in the morning. I know where subspace is now.
Yeah.
I know where subdrop is.
Yeah, there you go.
And you know what? It's something I do not want to partake in again.
But maybe, I mean, you let your sub top you. If somebody with more dominance, it's like when I met Matresse Madeline. I'm sure everyone out there has seen her videos for kink. She is a dom. She's someone who you feel her presence, and it's not somebody that I could ever top under any circumstances, I don't think. I think if you had that same experience, maybe with somebody. No? Okay. Well, people range then. There have to be some 100%ers. For there to be 50%ers in anything, there have to be 100%ers. I'm sure there are 100% subs and 100% doms.
I think women get confused sometimes. Mm-hmm. When you're nurturing and you're caring and you like taking care of people automatically assume that you're submissive. When in reality, there's also a dominant trait too, because dominants like to do that also. Dominants like to take care of people. They like to make sure that everything is good with everybody. So I've only bottomed once in well, I bought them twice. I lost a bet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there are 2 football teams in Ohio.
Yeah,
College
Cleveland
football?
and Cincinnati. In college football, there's lots of them, but in the pros, there's 2 of them, Cleveland and Cincinnati.
Well, which one is green? No, which one? I don't know. Well, I bet on the wrong team with my submissive,
Okay.
and he knew I bet on the wrong team because he was from Ohio. I was from Detroit,
Mm-hmm.
in Michigan.
Right.
Yeah, it was Michigan. It was college.
Okay.
Because Michigan, you know, they fight against Ohio all the time. So I lost a bet that he taught me publicly.
Okay.
And then people said, you know what? You were tied to a bondage bed. You were blindfolded, and you still domed the room.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But you know what frustrates me sometimes is I'll see people say, oh, so-and-so can't be a dom because she has been in videos where she got bossed around and sucked cock and did all these things as a sub. And it's like, who are you to say that? I mean, anyone can be whatever they want to. Role-playing is not limited by what you've done in the past.
So how long have you been interested in femdoms?
To the strong degree, I've been interested in female domination for 14 years, but before that I had interest in it that was somewhat milder. But what happened was 14 years ago, I met, when I came to Hollywood here to Los Angeles, I had a casting company where we put extras in movies, mainstream movies. And one of my extras was a girl. I also had a company that did web design, and one of my extras said to me, hey, it'd be great if you could make a website for me. And she was an adult model, not a porn star, but she was a fetish model, named Miss Crystal White. And I said, well, I don't do adult websites. I'm a mainstream guy, and this would be way beneath me. And she said, beneath me may be the wrong word, but it's something that I would have been comfortable doing. Whatever it was, I was wrong because she got, 6 foot tall, statuesque blonde with huge boobs, and she always got what she wanted, and she wanted me to make a website for her, and she seduced me into it. And I finally said, I'll do it, but what do you specialize in? And she said, well, I give great blowjobs. And I said, that is not a specialty. That is what every blonde does, you would hope.
With big boobs, yeah.
What meant she said, well, I've been in these trampling videos. And it was like, and she said, I've been in these ass worship videos. And I said, well, that's a niche. Let's make you the queen of ass worship. And we started posting all over the internet. Miss Crystal White, queen of ass worship. And that's what spawned my interest, was I started really getting into these things. I mean, to this day, in order to be good at what I do, I have to go read literotica, and I have to try to experience things from the perspective of the total sub.
Do you miss mainstream?
No. I do not miss mainstream.
I don't.
I could not be happier doing what I'm doing. I can't think of anything in this world that I would rather be doing than what I do.
I used to manage actors for a living. I had 120 of them in Beverly Hills.
When was this?
Blue Moon. It was Blue Moon Management.
What year?
Oh, it was during the Iraqi War. We closed down. It was during the September 11th. What was that?
That was 2001.
Yes, and we had I had 120 actors that I managed.
And you closed in when?
I closed when the war in Iraq. No, I closed when my about 7, 8, 9 years ago. 7, 8, 9 years ago.
I think maybe that's where we've met before.
Yeah, Blue Moon Management.
Yes, yeah, I think so.
We used to have people. There was this casting director. I can't remember her name, but she used to talk like this. So we were at a dinner one night at one of my clients' house. His wife was a French gourmet chef, and so she was invited, and they introduced me to her. She goes, Blue Moon, I love your people. Sheila Manning, I used to go to her, and going into her for 2 years. Every single morning I'm dropping off because I had go-between that would take all my headshots in, and one day after 2 years. She goes, and she looked up, and after I walked out the door, and I heard her say, "Who is that?" And they go, "That's Blue Moon." She goes, "Oh, I like their people." So and she used to book us a lot. So.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, that's what I used to do for a living. So and now, kink.
Yeah, and you probably don't miss it either. I don't miss it.
No, I don't. I don't miss
Look,
babysitting.
You realize that every Thursday on my set, I strap a GoPro onto my head and lie down on the ground and then have the girl descend and smash her ass up and down onto my face. And you ask, do I miss what I was doing before? Fuck no. I'm doing exactly what I want to do.
Oh, you guys in the chat room, I bet you're wishing that you were him, and the people that are going to be watching the show in the recorded shows on YouTube, you're going to wish you were him.
Yeah.
I told you, he's the man who has everything.
I have everything I want. That is true. I don't know that I have everything, but I have everything I possibly want in the world.
What other man do you know that does that?
I don't know. I think people get caught up in getting everything that they think they want, and what they think they want comes from others' expectations of them. You know, I mean, your parents sort of hammer into you, when are you going to get that husband or wife, and when are you going to get that the kids, and when are you going to have the average life? And it's like, suddenly it occurs to you when you have this epiphany that, wait a minute, that is not what I actually want. I don't want a wife. In fact, somebody mentioned to me today that her life was going great because she has no drama, and I thought, hey, I don't have any drama either. When was the last time I had drama? Oh yeah, a year and a half ago when I was in my last relationship. And the last year and a half has been unbelievable, as I say to myself, I don't need a relationship. I just need some sex once in a while. Completely different. There you go. A good gratuitous blowjob can solve a lot of problems, right, guys?
Art Miller says Thursday's a book now.
You know, Art, you can watch as I shoot new scenes every Thursday if you go to livemeanbitches.cammodels.com. I broadcast and people can watch from set and see everything. You want to see me strapping the GoPro on? You want to see the girl sitting on a guy's face, getting her ass licked? Hand job, everything we shoot is going to be right there, and you can watch it all.
Well, one of the interesting
as
questions,
we shoot it.
One of the interesting questions that Art has just asked also, how do you stay authentic?
Yeah, you know, that's the thing is, here's the problem, okay? I've got, you know, at any given time, 1,000 site members, let's say, of my website, and thousands more people out there who are giving me input via Twitter and email or whatever, and each one of them believes that they represent everyone. So they'll say, Glenn, we want only 18-year-old girls from now on. Or Glenn, we want strap-on in every video. We want pegging. We want big fat asses. You know, we only want this. And I don't know what we want, because everyone actually wants something different. I'll get diametrically opposing people in the same minute emailing me saying, hey, no more black girls. And then the next person will go, all black girls. And what I've come to realize is that and this might sound a little terrible, the only thing that matters is what I want, actually. And that's just because none of us represent the entire group. And I can't represent the entire group. I can only represent those who have the same likes and dislikes as me. So the way to stay authentic, I think, is for me to just keep shooting stuff that turns me on. That's why you don't see a lot of strap-on in my videos. Strap-on doesn't turn me on. I know it turns on a lot of other people. I don't like seeing a man's ass get spread open and then see something enter it. I like seeing beautiful women, you know, with their asses descending on guys' faces.
I think that's a better visual. I mean, I've done a lot of strap-on with men, but it just, you know, this is going to sound bad. And you fucked one man's ass, you fucked them all. I mean, it's all the same. It's just, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt, no doubt.
Yes.
And there's an audience for that, and there's a market for that. But to stay authentic, I think you got to just make what you love. And when you see a girl that's in one of my videos, it's somebody that turned me on. And I didn't just see a picture of the girl like most of the other video companies will cast a girl without having met her first. They'll get an email, they'll look at the picture, they'll go, hey, BB Cummings, sounds great, I'll book her. I don't do that. I make every girl come to me and appear on my show. I get a feel for her sexuality, her presence, her scent. How many other producers choose a girl by scent? But I do. You smell wonderful. You smell wonderful.
For
Clean
an old
and yeah, no, and, you know.
I did take a bath for you.
I can tell. I have an incredible nose. I can, on a hiking trail, I can sense another hiker when they are way around the corner. And when a girl comes into my studio who's unclean, which happens quite often, I'm not booking her. And it's hard for people to understand. People will email me and go, I saw so-and-so in a video, and she was great working for that other company, and you should book her. We want to see her. And it's like, well, I don't want to see her because I've been around her, and I know she's unclean, or I know her personality's not that great.
Smell has a lot to do with it. There was a friend of mine who switched for me one day, and she takes off her clothes. I'm flogging her, and I get a whiff of something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh, I can't do this.
Yeah.
This is just the smell.
Right.
I can't do it.
Right. I'm with you. And when you're making face sitting and ass licking videos, you gotta have girls that smell good. It's just not gonna look good if the guy doesn't want to be there.
And you gotta have chicks. You know what?
Gotta have hot chicks.
I gotta tell you guys. You see this?
Yeah.
Life is not a party without chicks.
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
That's great. What is this here? Marshmallow chicks.
My daughter gave me this for Easter.
Oh, that's great.
So isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
Can you imagine going to someone's house going, you can't have a party without chicks?
We gonna break that open and eat some of those?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
What color do you want?
Blue, please.
Okay, then we'll go for this end.
All right.
We're gonna eat marshmallows.
Yeah, this is great that you provide craft services on your sets.
It's high budget.
It's high budget sets. It's good.
It's really. I'm gonna have him open this because he's probably stronger than me.
Let's see here.
Manly.
Test.
It's a real man. It's a man eater. We're gonna see a man eat.
Oh, I see. It's clever packaging, but here, it's opened up right there.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll be a gentleman here. There you go.
Oh, thank
Please
you. And
have the first peep.
Oh, and they're really fresh because they've just been opened.
Mm-hmm.
See?
See what we got here. These look delicious.
So you go, oh no, Rev Mel is eating a peep.
So, oh, yeah, do the peeps have little personalities like that? Please don't let a BDSM person eat me, for God's sakes. There you go.
Oh!
Yeah. Oh my. Yeah, these are delicious.
This is fresh. You want a package to go home?
That'd be great. Take it to set with me.
What color?
I think pink will be great.
Pink. Okay, you got it.
Yeah, we're shooting a scene with Karen Fisher this Thursday for meanamazonbitches.com.
Wow.
And she has like about a 44-inch ass. She's got a nice big round ass. And we're going to enjoy seeing her ass bouncing up and down on a guy's face. So yeah, it'd be great to start her out. I always like to give girls cookies or something on set to start the day to put a smile on their face.
Man-eater of chicks. See, he's a man-eater of chicks.
I'm not a man-eater. The girls I shoot are man-eaters. But these chicks are quite good.
He's a man-eater. So, or she's a man-eater. Aren't these delicious?
Yeah. I have a friend of a friend who knows Daryl Hall and John Oates. Or Daryl Hall, actually. Or is it Oates? Hall. I've tried to get her to get that passed on that, boy, he would be great if he could use your song, but I don't think they would prefer to have that song used in a porn show. And I don't think they fit in our budget is the real issue.
What budget?
Yeah, that's the problem.
Art Miller says, this past hour has been brought to you from Peeps. No. No. So, see, Peeps can be sexy too.
That's right.
Anything can be sexy.
That would be a good sponsor for the show.
Have you ever done any food sex?
You know, on my show on TheKingNetwork.com, whenever we have a birthday, we take a cake and we put it on the ground, and then we'll have the girl sit on the cake and smash her ass down into the cake. And then everyone who's on the show that day, we lick the cake off of her ass. So that's a good one. And I've actually done that scene a few times, too, where I would have the mistress have the slave's birthday, and then she would sit on the cake and then sit on his face. But it is one of my favorite things is birthdays on the Man-Eater show. I enjoy licking cake off of girls' asses. I think the best kind of cake, the tastiest cake, is ass cake.
My birthday's coming up.
Let's do it.
No!
Out and It's about time to get some nudity on this show. I've been sitting here for 30 minutes. I still haven't seen any nudity. Let's go.
No nudity on the show.
What? What am I doing here? This is crazy. I've never been on a show with no nudity before.
We're here to promote.
Who the hell invites me on a show with no nudity?
We're here to promote.
That's sexuality.
TSRnetwork.com.
TheKingNetwork.com. Check it out. And
King
please check out MeanWorld.com. I worked my ass off this weekend on it. It's new and improved.
So, what would you change about your life? For the man who has everything. You like that, the man who has everything.
I think that's pretty awesome. The man that has everything. I've got all kinds of nicknames. I'm the dean of femdom producers. I thought was a good one. Somebody called me a few weeks ago. The king of ass worship as well. I don't know that I would really change anything about my life other than I would have, can I say, maybe I would have more Asian women in my life.
What? No.
I feel like I don't have enough Asians that come over to my house and dom me around and sit on my face and stuff like that. That's something I have room for always.
Well, I know a few.
Send them over, please. Introduce me. Love Asians. I feel like it's easiest for me to be sexually compatible with the Asians.
Art Miller has one of my questions I always ask. Thank you
for
reminding me. And that is, any regrets?
No. No, sorry, Art. Everything that I've done in my life has led to other opportunities and great things. And I had several setbacks last year that all led to me taking a much bigger, greater step somewhere. So I just don't believe in regrets. I think you have to cruise along the journey of life to get to where you want to go, and there's no such thing as a straight line.
It's a journey. It's a journey you got to take. And you got to take that journey, and you got to reach out, and you can't be. He says, diversify. You got to change. You got to think out of the box. Are we eating peep still?
Yeah. Can I have another peep? Oh, yeah.
Did you ask me?
Can I please have another peep?
You can't eat it until I tell you to.
Yes, mistress.
Right. I'm gonna eat my peep.
Okay.
I'm serious.
All right.
See? Gonna fill up my boobs. You may eat.
Thank you. Whoa.
He's not my submissive, so I don't boss him around.
I like Art. Art's asking some good questions here.
Art is awesome.
Yeah.
I ran into Art at the stockroom.
Mm-hmm.
He comes up and he smiles, and he's talking to me, and he said he really enjoyed my show, and I go, really? He goes, he's in the chat room. I go, really? I go, what is your name? And he smiles, and then I said to him, Art Miller, and it was him.
Art Miller.
Yeah, he's cool. He's cool. And you could put these on people's butts.
Actually, we could. That would be something great to eat out of somebody's ass, because it would fit right between the ass cheeks. I think we might have to try that on this Friday night show. Hey, and if you check out 7 p.m. Friday night on TheKingNetwork.com, that's Pacific Standard Time, you're going to see a hell of a show this week, because we have AVN Female Performer of the Year and XBiz Female Performer of the Year, Annika Albright, scheduled to be on the show. Although schedules change. But Annika and I have a long history together. It's always wild fun whenever she's on the show.
That's one of the reasons we stopped doing the porn shows, was because
The girls don't show?
They don't show.
Yeah.
Or they're stoned.
Yes.
They're drunk.
Yeah. And somehow I'm getting like 5 girls to show up these days. I think probably girls have realized that if you don't show up for my show, you don't get to be in my videos. And that's something. It's taken me 5 years to get to this point, but we have a lot of girls actually show up. And you know, most of the other shows on my network, you don't see that many of them because they can't get the girls to show up.
So you're making millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, right?
Millions and millions of kudos and
Lots
of attaboys and
lots
yeses. Not a lot of actual money, but a lot of girls sitting on my face, a lot of little hand jobs during the show. I mean, these are worth, they're priceless. You can't
They want to know if you have a live audience that comes and watches your show.
No, we don't have a live audience. It's in a secret, hidden away location, and we don't do that.
We used to do our show in front of a live audience. We used to have so many people in the live audience because we used to do lots of vloggings, and we did even, is it called gaping?
Gaping, yeah.
That was pretty remarkable. I guess she was, I forgot what her name is, but she was known for her gaping.
Okay.
But we don't do it anymore. We just have to sit here like this.
Yeah.
So, what inspires you?
I think you just want to, I think it means something to put entertainment out there that makes people's lives a little better and happier.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what you do out there, like, everyone's got to find some balance in their life where they go, all right, I'm working and I'm under stress and I'm whatever over here, but then I found something that puts a smile on my face over here. And those people who have enlightened themselves to realize what they're into, whether it's gay sex or heterosex or female domination or whatever, if they've discovered that, and then I can provide them with something that they can really enjoy, that's inspiring to me. That's whenever someone says to me, hey, I've watched all your videos, I really enjoy them, and they can remember scenes that we've done and things we did to make them different, or they'll say that, you actually helped me in my own relationships find a way to be submissive and enjoy it. Let me tell you something. When I first started, the real doms hated me. This is true.
Just teasing you.
They may still hate me. Remember back they had the Max...
the male doms or the female?
No, the female doms. The male doms probably still hate me. The female doms... So remember they had maxfish.com and dickievirgin.com, and I was one of the first people to buy advertising on the sites, and there were like this little revolt where a group of female doms went to Max and said, hey, we don't want you to take advertising for this guy anymore because he has explicit stuff. He has pussy licking in his videos. And then we now are getting guys come into sessions who want pussy licking. And we, before that, all we had to do was just spank the guys and tie them up. And I said to Max, they're backwards. They need to understand what their audience wants. Instead of trying to repress their audience and say, hey, this is what domination is, and it doesn't involve pussy licking, what you need to do is segment yourselves out and understand the audience wants all these things, and then you should establish yourself as, we specialize in spanking and we specialize in bondage. But you're hurting those people out there who fantasize about pussy licking and who fantasize about being forced to lick a mistress's ass. And you can't just tell those guys it doesn't exist.
But, okay, let's talk about that because, okay, there's a reason why pro-doms don't do that.
Right.
It's because it's considered prostitution.
Mm-hmm.
And if they do it and get caught, they'll be booked for prostitution. And that's the reason why a lot don't. And there are a lot.
And they don't have to.
And there are a lot of female doms that do it behind the scenes on their private time when they're not working for a dungeon. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean.
And I don't believe that any of those. I don't. Although, see, I don't think prostitution should be against the law.
I don't either.
I think all forms of sexual exploration are good. And I don't think anyone should be the one that judges and draws the line between what's okay and what's not okay. I think everyone should find their own. And I think it's great that there are mistresses who don't want to do those things. There's an audience for them. There's people that love. There are masochists who just love simply being tortured. Yeah, and it's not going to take away from their audience.
Yeah, at the Dominion, they can't do it. At Sanctuary, they can't do it. All the pro-doms, they can't do it. I don't know about some of the other dungeons. Some of them do. I don't know.
But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Yeah, but it does. I know. And it is a fantasy. One of the things that you see a lot of is the cartoons, those really amazing cartoons with the big butt women and the little teeny men underneath there being,
Eric Stanton's cartoons, and Katagawa, I think was the other one. And
they're awesome.
Yeah.
What has been your craziest?
My craziest video that I've made, or my craziest... What's that?
I'm saying that from you, Art.
Ah, okay. So, but art, specifically, what are we talking about? My craziest thing I've done in personal life, or video, or
let's
show, or...
Let's do your show.
My show, I think, I think my craziest show over the last year has been our fantasy football draft. We had maybe 10 girls in studio, and then we had a guy come in from SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Channel to help the girls draft all their fantasy teams, and then each girl had to give a lap dance if she needed advice. Really, the first one was better than the second. The first show was just crazy. Girls were just stripping out of their clothes and doing lap dances, and we just forgot all about the draft at one point. It was almost a virtual orgy. And too bad, that one's gone. That one was on Playboy, I think. Yeah, we didn't get to do it on Vivid, so, but yeah, that was pretty crazy with everybody getting out of hand.
It's good to get out of hand and get wild and crazy.
Yeah.
I used to do that until I got out of puberty. Let's see. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Texas.
Texas? What part of Texas?
I grew up in Dallas. Big Cowboy fan, Texas Rangers fan.
Did you wear a cowboy hat?
Did not wear a cowboy hat.
That's a falsity, isn't it? That people really don't. Not everybody wears cowboy hats in Texas.
Not everybody, but lots of guys do. I had a cowboy hat. My stepfather was from Lubbock, and he wore a cowboy hat, and he told me that if you're ever on the dance floor and there's a guy that's on the dance floor who has his hat on and hasn't taken off his hat as a show of respect to the ladies, you walk up and you punch him in the mouth. That's what you should do.
I'll tell you, I think men in cowboy hats look good.
Yeah, I'd like to.
You got a lot of cowboy hats in the valley. A lot of guys wear cowboy hats here in the valley.
I don't see that many of them. I'd like to wear a cowboy hat more often. That'd be cool.
Should.
I like cowboy hats. For a while, there was a year where I wore a beret everywhere. I thought that was pretty cool.
So when was it? How old were you when you first fucked somebody?
I believe I was 15 years old when I first fucked somebody. There was a thing in Dallas called forest lane where you would just cruise around in your car in a little circle, and my friends and I would go meet girls and, hey, pull over, drunk. And yes, I did a lot of drinking when I was 15 years old, and yeah, but I remember we didn't have a HIV. I'm 46 years old. We didn't have a HIV problem back then. Condoms weren't really used very frequently. Those were good times.
But now, because of what you do get tested and stuff like that, correct?
Yeah, I do. I do get tested about. No, I'm not in my videos. I don't typically need to get tested every single week like a lot of the performers do, but I get tested about maybe every month or every second month. Yeah. But yeah, I stay tested.
What is your pet peeve? What bugs you?
Social media faux pas bug me. I tell you, there's so much of that, and we've been trying to cover it on my shows one by one. Things like, okay, when is it okay to have a dick pic in your avatar on Twitter? Never. Never. The dick pic does not get you laid. And I'll tell you what's my pet peeve is that a guy will respond to a girl who puts up a hot picture, and he'll click on reply, and then it'll have my name in there. And he still replies. So he'll reply to the girl to show her his dick. So, but it'll be like, hey, at Callie Carter XXX, at Glenn King XXX. That's my Twitter. Here's my dick. And you're like, I don't want to see that. What the fuck? Why are you showing that to me? Show it to Callie. Take my name out of there. Maybe Callie wants to see it, but I don't want to see it. How impolite is that to send somebody a dick picture who's a guy who doesn't want your dick picture? Not that Callie wants it either, but maybe she does.
I hate dick pics. Don't send me. If you have a profile and you got dicks on your picture, on your profile, I don't want to see them.
Mm-hmm.
Don't send me. I want to get to know the man, not the dick. That he wants to know if you negotiate your scenes and stuff.
Negotiate? I don't understand the rate that I pay the girls.
Oh.
Is that what you're asking, or do I negotiate what the girls do in the scene? Or
negotiate what the girls do in the scene.
Oh, no, it's really booked through an agency, and there's not much negotiating. You call the agency and you say, hey, we're shooting a scene next Thursday. I would like to book Karen Fisher. The scene has face sitting, ass licking, pussy licking, finish with hand job, no intercourse. Here's my price. And then the agency will just typically come back and say she's available and we got her booked. There's really sort of a pay scale in our industry, and if you're in the parameters of the pay scale, they just say yes.
Darren's come in the chat room. Hello, Darren. Welcome. Yeah, I remember when I was Rude TV and K-Sex, and when I was involved with a lot of porn stars, and when Rude opened up, they had their big party, and I was at their big party, and so many of the people that do, I forgot the name of the man that, I've been trying to get him on my show, but we got out of the porn, so that's why I don't get him on my show, but he's one of the agents for a lot of the girls, and I can't remember his name.
Mark Spiegler.
No. But I remember Mark Spiegler. I remember the name.
Mark Schechter is another good agent. A couple of the other agencies are females. I don't know. They might not be around anymore. A lot of the agencies have changed.
So, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Well, that's the thing. I'll be here for 15 to 20 more years doing what I do. But the question is how to do it and make a living off of it. I'm one of those lucky people that makes a living doing what he loves. But the problem is, 5 years ago, the equation for making a living was really quite simple. You shot 4 scenes, and those 4 scenes cost you X amount of dollars to make. Let's just say $2,000 is a round number. So it cost you $8,000. Then you spent $2,000 editing and then making a DVD and making the box cover and replicating it. So your costs were $10,000. Then you gave them to a distributor, and then the distributor would come back and say, great, we sold 2,000 copies of this video for you at $8 a pop. So I have a check for $16,000 minus my cut, and here's your check for $12,000, and then you had a $2,000 profit, and that was that. It's pretty simple.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, who owns a DVD player anymore? I'm amazed anybody's buying my DVDs, and yet they are. And I thank you, by the way. But the equation's gone. You make a video for $10,000, and your distributor gives you a check for $1,500, and you have to figure out, well, how do I make the other $10,500 or $9,500 that $1,500, so $10,500 that I was getting before. And the answer is, well, you got to have clips for sales stores and membership sites and VOD sites. You need a live broadcast from set. You need a broadcast deal where you can get on cable channels. You put that all together, and you hope that you make a living off this stuff here, along with some residuals from the old videos. And it's harder and harder to make a living. And then you got to factor in the technologies that are changing.
Constantly.
Right. Are you shooting in 4K these days? People keep asking me. I don't know. I'm not shooting in 4K these days. But what I'm afraid of is that as soon as I go out and get my 4K camera, people will be shooting with the Oculus cameras.
Yeah.
And that's where I want to get to. Maybe in 5 years, here's what I would ideally like to be shooting, is porn that you can watch in your head. You watch it, you'll have contact lenses that can provide you with a view, let's say, or maybe you'll have the Oculus glasses, which look sort of like
spaceship.
Yeah, the X-Men glasses or whatever, and then you will watch as a girl sits her ass down on your face, just like in my GoPro videos, or you will watch as a girl bounces up and down on your cock, and you will be in the videos instead of us making videos about the fucking.
It'd be like Xbox, but with.
Yeah. Absolutely, and God,
That
I wish
is
we could get to
awesome.
smell-o-vision too, but that's
Smell-o-vision.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm starting to smell my dishes in the kitchen. Sorry, I hate dishes.
Huh?
You know, I wrote a thing.
You can
called,
pick that up, huh? Because I can too. In my house, if a sponge is unclean, it'll bother the hell out of me.
Yeah, I'm going like
I gotta clean that sponge.
I just went. So I did a writing called 50 Shades of Dishes. I hate dishes. I need slaves to come over and do all that.
Great idea.
So, are you incorporating more BDSM stuff in your shoot?
I like fantasies over BDSM stuff, and what I'm trying to do right now is come up with sort of a uniform set of fantasies that we can base off of and then explore. So, for example, I have a series called Ass Worship Junkies. And that is where we put a guy in a situation who admits that he's an ass worship junkie, like myself. Like, as an example, I love the idea of going to a strip club and having the stripper, who hopefully is clean or relatively, shove her sweaty, perfumed stripper ass in my face. That's because I am an ass worship junkie. So why not just make scenes where a guy goes into a strip club with a big wad of money and says to the stripper, hey, can I pay to lick your asshole? That's fun stuff. Or maybe a guy goes to work where he's got that secretary that he's been fantasizing about for a while, and he says, hey, this is a little embarrassing to be asking in the office, but I know you need money right now. Here is $10,000 to let me lick your asshole for a minute here. So that's the kind of thing I've been exploring lately. I want to do more hypnosis videos. We did an incredible hypnosis scene the other day where the guy walks into the office and he says to his secretary, what the fuck? Like, people are telling me that you're firing people, and people are telling me that you're bossing people around. You're the secretary, and you've been in this company for 2 days. And the secretary's sitting in his boss's chair, and she says, why don't you have a seat and let's talk about this? And he's like, you're in my chair. There's not even a chair place to sit down. And she says,
in my chair.
Don't you remember we talked about this yesterday? You were admiring my shiny little necklace, and then we talked about how important it was for you to relax. Don't be so tense.
You're going 10 times deeper with the sound of my voice.
Oh,
10 times deeper.
Yeah, she was amazing.
Glenn, you are going 10 times deeper. Sound of my voice. Relax. Your ankles relaxing. Your eyes relaxing.
Yeah, we had Mercedes Carrera in this scene. She was fantastic, and that was awesome to do that scene, and everyone that was watching was getting turned on. And sometimes when you're filming a video, when you're on to something, because you're sitting there on set starting to get wood, and everyone in the room, like when we shot.
I don't have my dick's about this long, and it's a big black strap on, so I know how that is.
Yeah. Yeah. When you get wet, and it's like, we shot Brie Olson, who became one of the most famous women in the world at one point, and she was Charlie Sheen's mistress. We knew when we were sitting on that set, oh, this girl's got something, I knew Annika Albright was going to be Female Performer of the Year some years. She's just so sexual when you're on set with her.
What is the life expectancy of a porn star? Is that normally like 14 months?
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, they get
6 months maybe.
Yeah, we've known so many.
Yeah.
There was a Mark who used to work at kink.com, one of the major male dominants. He comes to the
Mark
club.
Davis.
Mark Davis.
Yeah.
Mark Davis is awesome, and his I don't know, I think it's his wife or girlfriend. They are awesome. They come to the club. They have a great time. He is an awesome, cool man. This man is known all over the world for his performances in porn. He is just wonderful to sit down and talk with.
Yeah.
He's great. I think I don't have a problem with porn. I like women-to-women porn.
Yeah.
I like women on top of women doing nasty things and stuff like that.
Yeah, you should check out Aiden Starr's work for Evil Angel, my co-host on the Maneater Show. She is the queen of girl dominating porn. It's great stuff.
How long have you two been working with each other?
5 years. 5
wow.
years. It's a funny story. Originally, Playboy came to me and they said, we have this great idea for a show, and we want you to run it. And I said, wow, that's such an honor. What did you want me to do? Well, we have a wrestling show, and women are going to wrestle men, and then what we want is for your company to produce it and then turn around and give it to us. And I went, huh. Now that sounds pretty good, except for why would they want me? What do they need me for in this? Playboy can produce their own content. And I went, oh, yeah, because somebody's going to break their neck doing a wrestling move, and they would much prefer that the company that gets sued is me and not Playboy. So I said to the guy that was running Playboy Radio, listen, this is ridiculous. I'm not going to do that for you and end up being sued. But what is it that you're trying to do here? And let's come up with another way to do it. And he said, we have an extra time slot, and we don't have any budget to fill it. So we figured this was a way to get free content. So I said, well, look, I'll produce a show for you because I could use the free advertising that comes along with it. I'll make a meanbitches.com femdom show of some sort, and we'll just find us a good host for it. And he said, okay, but the problem is we don't want the host. We're mainstream. We're Playboy, and we don't want the host to end up talking about nailing balls to a table, blood play, scat, blah, 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 blah.
Needle play, knife play, all those things.
Yeah, so we need you to actually host the show along with the dom that you get to be the rudder of the show. and just sort of keep her, whenever she just sort of delves into things that we don't consider appropriate, you would push her back in. And so that's why I originally started doing the show with Aiden. Although she didn't need me. Aiden is so adept at evolving and fitting whatever environment she's in. She didn't need me. But we just became an instant hit together, and then we've been together for Playboy Radio and then Vivid Radio, and then a very short stint at Radio Temptation, and now, of course, TheKingNetwork.com.
The girl that does the show, Cassie, Miss Cassie, just did a thing with Snow Mercy for Playboy, a clown thing. They went out and did a whole clown shoot.
Wow, clowns are
hot. They think they're hot. I don't know.
I don't know that I'm really into clown sex. It's not my thing.
No.
Yeah, but there are definitely people that enjoy it. I mean, I don't know that I really like parody sex all that much either. I like the concept, but then when you see it, it's just not. It doesn't do that much for me.
Yeah.
A lot of people are buying these parodies, though.
Yeah, it's a big business. But I think that the internet has changed the way that they do porn industry now. Completely changed it.
Yeah.
Because you're right, they don't do DVDs anymore. They used to do the cassette. I mean the
VHS.
The VHS.
First videos I made were VHS.
Yeah. Well, my dad had the ones that you put in the little.
Wow. Now that's old school right there.
Yeah, they're called blue movies.
8mm blue movies.
Yeah, blue movies. So it's really gone a long way. And now we've got live broadcasting like we do.
But the other thing is that people now, they don't have to buy an entire video to get the specific part that they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So whereas like I can remember buying DVDs and that had a little bit of face sitting in it to get to the dominant part of the scene. Now they're just like, how about if I just buy the clip that I want to, with something specific, what I want to see. So
that's clip for sale. You just do the clips for sale, right?
Yeah, or VOD. People will pay by the minute. You can watch my videos for like 10 cents a minute over on AEBN or HotMovies.com. So people can just go in and you can watch it on your Roku too, on your TV set. So you can just watch the 3 minutes that they need to come for 30 cents, and there you go.
So what's important is building your content.
Yeah, and being true to your niche. You really got to know what niches sell and make content that appeals to a broad range of people.
Well, what advice would you give to someone that wanted to get into the industry that you're both as a talent and as a producer?
Well, as a producer, I have a little bit more advice. I think my advice to producers is you can build slowly. When you first start, you're probably going to need to keep your day job, and you're going to make a scene, and you want to try to make it for as little money as possible, and then start figuring out how to make as much money as possible off the content. The good news is that building a scene is a lot like planting a crop. When I plant parsley in my backyard, it actually comes and goes, and it'll die and come and go like 4 times before I have to plant more parsley. A scene is the same way. I mean, you take the same scene and you can sell it on Clips for Sale and in the VOD sites and on a membership site and so on. The mistake I see people make is they'll go, well, I got $10,000 from an investor, so now I'm going to go make a bunch of stuff, and you never end up making the guy his $10,000 back. So then you just have a bunch of people that are upset at you, and it's just not a great way to do business. It's better you take $500 out of your own pocket and you make something, and then you work at it until you have money coming in, and then you keep going.
That's a great advice.
Yeah, and you can make a Clips for Sale store. You don't have to have any web expertise to make a Clips for Sale store. You just upload content to it, and that's a way to start revenue coming in.
It's amazing how smoking videos are so popular. Women sit there.
I know a guy that makes custom hair washing videos. There are people out there who want to pay to watch women wash their hair. And you just got to find your niche out there.
Yeah, foot fetishes. I mean, all sorts of things.
There's a guy who submitted for the Femdom Awards named Real Sticky Face, what he calls himself on Twitter. He makes videos of him shoving his face into big, thick black girl asses in whatever city he's in. And I love his videos. It's just so real.
Okay, when was the first time that you ever licked a woman's ass? What created this fetish for you?
I think, well, you know, it really wasn't a creating of the fetish. It was I started making it for other people, and then realized that I enjoyed it myself. But I do recall playing with a girl in 2001 maybe, or somewhere in that time frame, just before I came out here, and we were doing like a role play. Love role plays. I always do role plays in the bedroom, and I remember her saying, "You like this Asian ass, huh? Stick your tongue in it. Stick your tongue in my ass." And I was like, "This is so dirty. This is so taboo. This is so such a feeling my tongue is unaccustomed to. It's like, you know, you find a little ring and you stick your. It's so tight, and it is such a taboo feeling. Like you're doing something you're not supposed to do, and that's a big turn on."
I like this.
Yeah.
And you know, we've come to the end of the show.
Is that right? What?
It's an hour.
We just started.
You want to go a little bit longer? I don't care. We can sit here and talk.
Hey, we can do another 10 minutes or so if you got
Sure.
any more questions.
Okay.
I'm enjoying myself. Does any of the chat room guys have any more
No,
questions?
they're
I like
quiet
these
in
guys
there.
here.
They're quiet. They're going like, ooh.
They don't care. You guys, if you want, you know, to see what I'm all about, my Twitter is GlennKingXXX. My Instagram is GlennKing_XX. There's 2 N's in these things here. You're going to see all kinds of stuff of me hanging out with beautiful women, doing all kinds of fun things. You should check that out. And if you go to meanworld.com, I got something new. I could fill up that page like every 5 minutes with something new that's happening on my websites.
So are you open to new ideas and new types of things that people do in the fetish world?
I would be, but the realistic part of me, the business side of me, doesn't really allow me to do most of the ideas. Like, people send them to me constantly, but it's always, Glenn, I got this great idea. You take 8 girls and you have them on a football field and you have them dressed in uniforms, and it's like, whoa, 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 let me stop you. I don't have access to a football field.
Yep.
I don't have the budget for 8 uniforms. I don't have the budget for 8 girls. I got the budget for 1 girl. I might be able to put her in a football uniform. Does your idea still hold up? And it's usually no.
And when you negotiate with the agent, you negotiate exactly what they're going to be doing, like, you know, ass licking or whatever, you know, exactly what you want. Because if you add other things onto it, that costs more money.
Yes. Yes.
So is ass licking cheaper than fucking?
Actually, it is. Yeah, ass
Really?
licking is about half the price of fucking.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. I didn't know that. You learn something new every day.
Yeah, yeah. So my costs have gone down quite a bit since I stopped filming intercourse videos, which might be a temporary thing. I mean, I made some great fucking videos last year, but this year so far all I've shot is ass licking videos. And I'm just, hey, I'm being true to you guys out there. You're my fans. They like ass licking. They like to worship asses, and that's what I'm giving them.
A lot of people like to worship asses. I
Yeah.
dated someone that was. He told me a story that the first time he saw a woman's ass, that she was getting into a truck and she had no underwear on, and he was a little boy, and he looked up and he could, every time he has sex, he thinks of her.
That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fetish right there.
Yeah.
How many inches is your ass?
You mean round one?
Yeah.
No, you get something near my ass, I become a porpoise. Oh, you mean size? How big?
No, like you measure, you know, like so if you took a measuring tape to it.
I don't know.
You want me to tell you?
No.
Okay.
I've got a big butt.
Well, I can usually like rub my face against it a little bit, and
No, you guys, I think we're gonna. You know, it's been 4.5 years
since anyone has rubbed their face on
since
your
I,
ass.
since I fucked. Yeah.
It's since you fucked anybody, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not good.
No, someday we're gonna change that. I don't know when I'm ready. You know.
Become a porn producer. You get laid occasionally. People will want to be in your videos, and they'll just fuck you.
But I'm like you. I'm particular.
I am.
You know, you got to go. I got to have chemistry with somebody, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, swinging. You know, when you've spent so many years in the swinging scene, and you've been a swinger, and in BDSM, when you've topped and seen with anybody and anybody ever done, then you get a little bit older and you start to become a little more particular. You go, you know what? If I'm going to exert my energy and my time with somebody, I want it to pay off, but not. I mean, pay off in an emotional way.
Yeah. See, I can't go to a swingers club because I have to be able to bond with the person. I can't just randomly have sex with somebody. First off, they have to be ultra clean.
Yeah.
And that's not that likely in a swingers environment. Not that all swingers are dirty. It's just a more wilder form of sex where they're not coming straight out of the shower with preparation, knowing they're gonna have sex with one person.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's tough for me to be in swinging, and people invite me to these great femdom play parties, and I just don't have the confidence that I really have to know somebody first and make the decision that, yeah, this person they have the right sexual level and scent and all those things for me to have sex with them. It's too bad.
My butt used to be really high when I was young. I had like this ghetto butt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my daughter, one day we're walking down the street and she starts laughing. She says, "What are you laughing at?" She says, "Mom, we can put a 6-year-old child on the back of that ass."
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, Rochelle Ryan sent me a picture today of a cat going to sleep on her ass.
Oh.
Like, not while she was lying down, she's standing up, and her ass goes so far out that the cat is sleeping on her ass. Now that's ass right
when
there.
When did big butts come in style? Because it hasn't been. It hasn't been. It's only been in style for the last, 12 years, 10 years?
Well, I don't know. You talk about, the guy that helped me get in the business, David Christopher, who was known as Pussy Man. He was involved with Eric Stanton and all those guys back in New York when they were making those big butt cartoons and stuff. And so to some degree it's been around, but I don't know, maybe mainstream society didn't begin to really appreciate the big butt until Sir Mix-a-Lot came out with "I Like Big Butts." Because when, I don't know the song, but yeah, maybe that's one.
I like big butts and that song. I try to get up and do that, but I don't do it too well.
It's working, yeah.
Yeah, I don't do it too well. That's hard to do.
Yeah.
It is. If you've ever tried to do it, for every person that's in the chat room or that watches the show, in the recording show, male or female, try to do that because it's not easy to do.
Yeah, do some twerking, people.
Yeah.
Everyone twerk.
It's hard. It's really hard. But you know what? So please give your websites again.
All right, please go check out meanworld.com. That is my portal site where every time I make an update in my world, I put it on there. If you check out TheKingNetwork.com, you can see all of my wild shows with nudity, and it's free. It's free in HD. You can watch the whole damn thing and enjoy yourself. We're also on iTunes if you want to just subscribe to the podcast and listen to it on your phone. And I'll just throw out my social media as well. Check out Glenn King XXX on Twitter. And I'm on FetLife. If you have listened to the show, please friend me on FetLife. As she points out, I only have like 3 friends on there.
No, you have more than 3 friends.
I'm starting to make some friends. But I would love it if more people were to friend me on FetLife and communicate with me and let me know what you thought of the show.
It's been wonderful having you on the show.
It has been wonderful being on the show.
This has been awesome. This is Glenn King XXX. You know, I have an XX number. I have a Cougar Love XXX.
Cougar Love XXX. I love it.
She's an alcoholic. She's a porn star. She lives in Dubuque, Iowa.
Okay.
She has sex with the midget brothers.
Nice.
She does chocolate porn. It's horrible. She's horrible.
Awesome.
Horrible.
I'd watch that.
Oh, maybe I'll make you watch it before you leave.
Check that out.
So you guys didn't know about that, did you?
Wait, but you're saying there's something you've done, or you're saying that there's somebody you've met?
It's a character that I do.
It's a character you do. Okay,
yeah,
great.
It's Cougar Love XXX, and she's a horrible porn star.
Okay.
And she's, what's her name? I can't remember her name. She's a porn star. She was it was on Tony Bones' show. We talked about Tony Bones.
Mm-hmm.
So he did not have his girls stood him up, you know. He had nobody to interview his show. I says, well, why don't I come on? And it's like a 2-hour show. I says, why don't I come on 2 different characters? He goes, okay. And I didn't tell him what I was doing. I didn't tell the cameraman.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm walking in as Cougar Love. My cameraman is almost peeing his pants.
Mm.
And she has chocolate, and she can't find her mic, and she's got this big butt. She's leaning over trying to find the mic. It's my comedy side, but it's not about me. It's about him.
I'd watch midget porn. I gotta say,
yeah.
Unlike clown porn, which I can't find anything interesting about, midget porn I think is kind of hot.
Oh, she does midget. Oh, I can't even do her voice. It's so hard because you gotta put it down. I think she talks like this, and she does the midget brothers in the bar. Just outside of Dubuque, Iowa.
Oh my.
She's a porn star. She's horrible. I can't even do her voice anymore. She's horrible. and she had her, then there was Cougar Love, and then there was Goth Girl Love, and she was from New London, Canada.
Oh.
My boyfriend sent me here to become a porn star. He says, little girl, you go make me some money. So, that's like enough. You know what? What we're going to do is this. I'm going to close the show. He's going to close it up for a couple seconds. And because, I have no board people, the huge budget that we are on this extraordinary budget at 59 cents a day. So, thank you for watching the Rev Mel Show on TSRnetwork.com, where real people talk about real sex with really kinky people. And I'm going to steal his peeps.
Oh, man. Look at my peeps.
I see my boobs.
Yeah.
Woo!
I close it out. I give you guys some advice. Always hold the door open for women so that way you can see their ass as they go on in.
Woohoo!
Hey, there you go. Well, that was fun. Thanks for having me.